Food prices don't rise slowly, they jump. One month you're paying normal prices, and then suddenly eggs, bread, rice, and cooking oil feel twice as expensive. But here's the disturbing part. Most of the time, it's not because the world is running out of food. It's because the system behind food is fragile, and when it breaks, prices explode. Today, we're re-exposing the silent crisis behind food prices and why this problem isn't going away. When people hear food inflation, they usually blame one of three things: greedy companies, government policies, or too much money printing, and yes, those can matter. But food prices are different from normal inflation because food is not just a product. Food is a global supply chain with farms, fertilizer, fuel, shipping routes, packaging, processing plants, storage, supermarkets. If any part of this chain is disrupted, prices can rise worldwide, even if farms are producing enough. Food is not expensive because it's rare. Food becomes expensive because it can't move smoothly through the system. The invisible inputs. Let us start with something most people never think about. Modern food depends on a few invisible inputs, and without them, food production becomes expensive instantly. 1. Fertilizer. Fertilizer is basically the fuel of global agriculture, and fertilizer is tied to natural gas, geopolitics, export restrictions. If fertilizer prices spike, farming becomes more expensive months before people feel it at the supermarket. To fuel. No fuel means tractors can't operate cheaply. Harvest machines cost more. Food transport becomes expensive. Food is heavy. It's fragile. It expires, so transport costs matter more than people realize. 3. Packaging. Even packaging is part of the food crisis. Plastic, paper, glass, aluminum. If packaging costs rise, food prices rise too. So sometimes the price of bread increases. Not because wheat is rare, but because the energy and inputs behind bread got more expensive. Why food prices jump? Food prices don't behave like most consumer goods. They don't rise gradually, they spike. That's because the system is built around just-in-time logistics, low storage, continuous movement. Think of food supply like a conveyor belt. As long as it moves, prices stay stable. But when it slows down, three things happen. 1. Delays create shortages. Even if food exists, it's in the wrong place at the wrong time, and stores don't price food based on global supply. They price it based on what's arriving this week. 2. Spoilage destroys supply. Unlike electronics, food rots. A shipping delay can turn millions of dollars of food into waste. That waste becomes scarcity. 3. Panic buying makes it worse. The moment people feel fear, they buy more than they need. That creates an artificial shortage, which pushes prices even higher. So it becomes a loop. Delay gives shortage, gives panic, gives higher prices. Export bans, the price shock button. Now we enter the most dangerous part of the global food system: export bans. When a major food-producing country gets nervous, maybe because of drought, war, political pressure, fear of domestic protests, it does something that seems logical locally. It blocks exports. This instantly reduces global supply. Even small export restrictions can trigger massive price spikes because global food trade is concentrated in a few key exporters. So what happens next? Importing countries panic too. They start stockpiling, and global markets react immediately. Prices jump before food shortages even happen. This is why food inflation can feel like a wave. It spreads across countries fast, without warning, and in poorer countries. These waves don't just hurt wallets, they can trigger instability. The real boss fight: climate plus system risk. Even if the world is producing enough calories overall, climate change introduces something brutal: unpredictability. Not just less food, but more volatility. Heat waves hit yields, floods destroy harvests, droughts reduce supply, pests spread faster. This creates what markets hate most: uncertainty. So companies and governments respond in predictable ways. build inventories, sign longer contracts, raise prices earlier, and that changes the baseline. The system becomes permanently tense, meaning even if the crisis is over, prices don't fully return. Food prices don't just rise, they reset higher. What happens next? So what's next? Here are the 3 biggest reasons food prices will remain unstable. 1. Energy instability. Energy costs affect everything in agriculture. If energy remains volatile, food remains volatile. To higher fertilizer risk. Fertilizer is not a free market product. It is tied to geopolitics and export controls. 3. Trade fragmentation. The world is becoming more divided. Sanctions, regional trade blocs, export bans, shipping risks, and when trade becomes less efficient, food becomes more expensive. This doesn't mean the world will run out of food. It means the food system will behave like a stressed machine, still running, but breaking more often. So the next time someone says, food prices are rising because of inflation, remember, inflation is only the surface. The real story is the fragile global system behind your dinner. If you want the next episode, we'll uncover something even bigger: how one shipping choke point can trigger food inflation worldwide. Subscribe for more breakdowns of the hidden systems that control our world.